So the next one, number 4. Okay, this one is a really cool one. So you know how I was sharing like all these powerful energies like pushing my body, like I feel uncomfortable, and then I'm like just clearing all these energies. So as these grids are complete, so I actually went to the Denver Gem Show this past week. I bought all the stones, crystals to complete the grid on whatever I was tuning in to guided to get. And the, the energy here is like immense. So I've been tuning into so much information. But the great thing about this whole cutting cords, clearing energy thing is when I meditate, when I tune in, I get glimpses and visions of like my future. It's crazy. It's like I see it, like I feel it, because like now my body's a lot more open because I've done so many shadow work, purging, cutting cords. My body's so much more sensitive to energy, and so now like Moldavite is like expanding me, and then I would get like glimpses of. I share with you like the Goddess Academy, the retreat in Vietnam. That last year I went and like I really found the spot next to Lady Buddha to build the center, and the Light Goddesses movie, which would never cross my mind, but just seeing how things are starting to unfold is like, okay, I guess this is the vision that I'm getting. However, it's great, like it's super, super exciting, and I can already see myself like making so much money to a point where it doesn't matter how many yachts or how many houses, how many mansions, we have, like to that level of like royalty status, you know what I mean? And so I see it and I'm like, wow, that's a huge gap from where I'm at right now. So that's the thing about Moldavite, right? Moldavite will get you to see far, far out there. Now, as I exit that meditation, meditation, and then I descend back down to my 3D self. There's a far gap. So I'm over here, like I get visions of one of my videos gonna go viral. Like that for me is like it's gonna happen. And I just always think it's gonna happen sooner than I thought. All the time. There are several videos like, oh my God, I think this is gonna go viral. Like I feel like it, and then it doesn't. And so it's like huge gap. Now it's just like trying to integrate the two to have them meet in the middle. What else? And so here's the thing, right? So you see these, I see these possibilities, and I'm like, oh my God, like I see who's gonna be in it, and I feel like they're gonna be in it, right? And then so here I am, feeling like, oh man, we're gonna do all this together. Like I see you doing this and this and this and then, but here they are, not or haven't worked with Moldavite as much as I have, so their body is still like they're still working through their intense awakening, right? And so I experienced all of this, so I see a lot more. So now they're trying to adjust, and I'm a little bit adjusted, a little bit further, not much. But now I'm like, hey, you ready to do this? And then like, and I'm triggering them, or they're getting triggered. And I'm like, wait, is it not? I don't know. It's just like it's not in alignment yet. And so I had to have to stepping back. It's like asking the right questions. My intuition's like, okay, are we collaborating right now or collaborating later? Or like, is this person gonna be my life now or this person gonna be my life later? I see it so far in advance. I'm just like, okay, when is it gonna happen? Like, and then I just have to keep remind myself, like, it's not in alignment yet. It's not in alignment yet. Don't make yourself sad or don't get yourself disappointed because it hasn't happened yet. They're not ready. They're not in alignment. Be patient. So yeah, that's like a really good thing, but also a challenging thing just to remember, like, okay, got to integrate. So I got to work with my body to integrate with all these, because my soul, right? My soul's already expanded this far, and then I just got to be having my body integrate with it so that I can merge the reality, right? Make sense? So So number 5 is actually like, so last video is probably the first week I really got into like Denver and just actually got to slow down and like let my body rest and integrate, because the part 1 I shared, like I was just being like consumed, overpowered by this energy, and it's like depleting. Like I'm not taking care of myself in a way. And so I had that conversation with I tuned in, and I tuned in with the energy of the stone and really shared. It's like, hey, look, if if I'm gonna be of service and it's like this overbearing, right? Then it's not something I want to do. Like something's got to change. And remember, right? Everything has a consciousness. This Moldavite is vibrating at a frequency much higher than we are. So when my body is open, is in tune, I'm connecting to the frequency of the Moldavites. So I'm tuning to like a radio station or TV station, you can say, of this frequency band. And so, I make sure like my body's clear. I'm not interfered with like people's negative energy. So my space is clear. So whenever I tune into these guidances, is this different channel, right? Because our brains have crystals in there, and all those phone lines, internet, all our electronics have crystals in them. So have you ever wondered how we can call from, I don't know, the US all the way to Asia or South America with just a phone, right? It's an antenna. So we are antenna. So when you start doing the shadow work, you start clearing your body, you start tuning into these guidances. And it's, you tune in and then you just like telepathically communicate. I know it sounds way out there. But when you experience that, because a lot of you are already having Moldavite starting to tune in, it's like, wow, my intuition's like pretty loud, or like, whose thoughts are these, right? Well, just know you're tuning into a higher version self of you, basically. But when you're on the Moldavite level, right, it's a collective consciousness. So it's consciousness of the collective, also individually as you as well. But you are part of that higher consciousness, you that's talking to you right now. You're just like higher conscious you. Well, higher conscious me is talking down to lower consciousness Tammy, right? 3D Tammy. It's like, hey, go this way, meet this person, buy this thing, fast forward a day, go camping, right? It's like, it's kind of like you're playing a video game and you're trying to get the player to hear you, because they're like, oh, what was that noise, right? But it's like you trying to say, go, turn left, turn right, right? It's kind of like that. So your higher self telling you, it's like, turn left, turn right. Anyways, that's the easiest way I could put it. So now this past week and a half too, I just like got myself centered and I just started like rewriting all these contracts of like with the universe, with my soul contract, with my purpose here, right? It's like this is depleting my energy, as like it's not fair, right? And so we're writing all these contracts, right? So I'm gonna teach you all these tools in the course that I'm gonna start in 2 weeks. So my main part for this, like just working with this Moldavite, going on year 3, is like learning how to master Moldavite's energy, because they're so powerful, they're so fast, and even me going on 3 years is just like consuming me, right? Until I really got to learn how to master the energy. And it's just like being centered, opening up grids, and just like, look, we got to be in agreement. Like, everyone has free will, right? And it's just like, it's interesting. It's you'll experience it. And if you're watching this channel, then you are high vibing, right? And something's pulling you to watch it. So they do a little digging. I think this conscious level I'm tuning into is just telepathically with the frequency of the Moldavite. And so mastering the energy of the Moldavite, opening these grids. I'm calling on ascended masters. When your body's open, you'll feel the energy come through. Also, when you're doing all these clearing, you do these cleansing cores, I feel energy leaving my body. And whenever there's entities around, like paranoia, right? That I know there's an entity, right? There are some that messed with me. And then you just got to really be grounded. So the clearer you are as a channel, it's like the more light you can anchor in. So it's just like being in the I am presence and commanding them to leave, right? You got to be that firm and that confident, because some of these entities will mess with you, like extreme paranoia or like who's there, right? Like kind of, it can get scary, but it's just like facing your fears. If I am source, there's nothing that I'm afraid of. And I know if like when I'm not surrendering, like I'm acting upon my ego or I'm doing something that is like out of integrity, is not moral, it's not right, then that is a possibility. Like, and maybe it, I don't know, voiding my soul contract, like stuff like that. Dude, if I'm like, if I die, then I die, right? But if I'm always acting on, the good for the people, right? The good for Earth and being of service, then I don't, like, if I die, then I die. Then maybe that's my work is done. So for me, it's like I overcame my fear of dying, overcame my fear of rock bottom. So that's the thing, right? Rock bottom was something like was so huge for me. When I say rock bottom, like anything that was close to me failing, I would not even try. And that just cuts off so many possibilities for me. I used to love art, and my drawings back in like middle school, it used to be like or elementary, like people would buy these. But I cut it off just because it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't make money. And so yeah, it's just like anything that was close to like failing, because I was so afraid of failing, I would not go after it. So once I realized like, oh, wait, rock bottom, it's not that bad. Because I noticed every time I overcame my fears, like, all right, I guess I'm camping. I went to go buy all my camping stuff. And then boom, someone, 2, 3 orders of activated Moldavites come in. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm still gonna camp. It's once you like become okay, like, all right, I'm gonna be okay with like, okay, I'm gonna go camp. I'm gonna sleep in the car. When I become okay with that, boom, something is released, money comes in every single time. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of interesting, right? So when I started noticing like that happens so many times, like for me, all in is like, okay, I'm gonna go all in. Literally, it's what's happening, all in, like down to the last dollar. And then boom, accepted my fate, and then boom, it's released. Pay attention. If that's happening to you, be aware of what's going on. So with that being said, where to put for my last one? Okay. So mastering the energy of Moldavite. Now I can tune in with the energy. I can learn how to direct the energy and just rewriting these contracts. And I understand like once like rock bottom wasn't like that fear that was released for rock bottom, that's huge for me. Because what I got out of this whole entire journey, you see, during those moments when I didn't have money, it was because I realized the community, like the people in my program, like they, like just because we're all working together and we all clear this energy, we're all like cutting cords, we're not letting stuff interfere with, our head trash, interfere with our connection with other people. I got so much love and support from them in a way that I've never allowed myself or never experienced before, right? And in like last year when I was in Vietnam, one of my friend I just met like I don't know, 2, 3 times. They were expats, and yeah, they just took me in and sheltered me for 2 months with their family, and like they own a vegan restaurant, and they're like part of this Buddhist community, and it's just like the most supportive community I've ever experienced, right? And it's just like they sheltered and fed me without asking for anything in return, right? And like I I didn't even know them that well, and it's just like that just blasted my heart open. If you want to experience a heart opening, like Moldavite will push you like your heart to open. And when you come across the people on the other side who's in complete surrender and just listening and trusting and being of service to whatever source is telling them or they're being guided to do, then they're not going to care like who's over here on the other side or like what they look like, how much money they have. If the person is a clear vessel over here, is fully trusting and surrendering and listening to guidance, whoever shows up right here, and if intuition says yes to help them, then they're going to help this person regardless of their background. And that's what I'm starting to realize on my own journey. It's when I meet someone, right? And for those who like, I given away Moldavite even during times when I have no money. And it's like, how can I, like, it really tests me to give more than what I have. And it's just like, it's okay. Like, I've gone this far. Let's just trust and surrender. Like, to that point, it's like, I've gone this far. Like, just do it, right? I've seen so many miracles. I've seen so many things happen. Like, just, I trust it. Every time magic happens, miracles happen. And so I'm starting to see that commonality. And it's like, I realize there are some people like just act upon the goodwill of their heart. And it's just, I trust them and I see the community like they love and support them. It's not about the money. And so I realize when I am in all these rock bottom stages, that's when I've truly found like who's truly acting upon their heart. And that's kind of cliche because people say like, oh, when you hit rock bottom, who's your true friends and all that. And yeah, that's totally true, right? It's interesting because one is like I noticed these people who've done the spirituality work, they're in surrender mode, which is they're clear vessels and they're just doing what they're being guided to do. And it's when I do things that makes no sense to anybody around me, like walking away from my career, it's like I hear these guidance. It's one, I hear it, but two, like I'm also getting pulled to do it subconsciously. Like if you have one and you feel like a strong pull, it's the energy pulling you to what your purpose or what your calling is. But that's, yeah, so it's like understanding how to work with this Moldavite. Make sure you're being grounded. And so that's why I am going to create my next program. It's going to be Moldavite Mastery. So in the next video, I will share more with you about it. But it will be talking about building crystal grids, I have different Moldavite activation videos, and how to pair Moldavites with different meteorites, since that's like, I think that is my calling here, is to work with meteorite stones, pectites, and connect with our star roots. But there's so much that I'm excited to teach in the course. It's gonna be a 6 months program. I will make a video on it, probably, I don't know, in the next few days, but I just want to share with you like what it's like having so much Moldavite. It's like intense, but if you know like what to look for, what to prepare for, like what's happening, it's not going to be as bad as you think. It's so what I'm building in this program is that we're going to build this massive crystal grid. Everyone there, I'm going to help you build a YouTube channel, right? I'll teach you what I know. So everyone in the grid is going to elevate together in this Moldavite grid. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's kind of long, but if you're tuned in, like you're here to hear this message. But that's all I have for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But I will talk to you guys soon. Tammy Doe, signing off. Got my rings and my Shungite shield. This is the workspace for the solar plexus. We got Metatron's cube. Got kyanite, blue kyanite. These are the one activated from Joshua Tree. We got aquamarine. We got golden ritualated quartz. We got Libyan desert glass, a 22 gram right there. All activated Moldavites from Joshua Tree on Metatron's cube. And we got Ganesh leading and guiding us through as we work with the solar plexus, and a shadow quartz in the back. There's our workspace.